Good afternoon, friends, and welcome. I'll be sharing live trades and results with you. We'll be evaluating how well these trades work out. We'll be benchmarking this against the S&P 500. I'm expecting to be outperforming it every month. Along the way, I'll also be sharing some lessons I've learned about investments, trading, and building wealth. And of course, the mandatory disclaimer. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It should not be interpreted as advice. And with that, let's get into it. Welcome to Trade 13. As you can see from our last trade, we took quite a big loss there, and then we took an exit on this day on this candle. For whatever reason, my trading platform tends to show this the next day, but that's just the way it is. We took the exit here, and at that time, it's hard to say what's going to happen. Does the market keep going down? Will the market come back up? Obviously, on this screen, you can see a little bit about what happened. But the truth is, I don't think anybody really knows. And so you just have to take your best guesses and make your best plays. But we took our exit here. The next day, the market rebound. It would have been great to have stayed in, but that's not what happened. You can see some volatility over the next couple of days, back down, up, and back down. And at this point, Adam is going to decide to go ahead and enter in here. And that's exactly what's going to happen. So I always say you can watch that trade go in live, but what exactly do I mean? Here's what I mean. You now see a blue bar right here. And what that is a live order going in. You can see I'm taking a long position with just over 1,000 shares. You can also see historically, how many shares I've had on each trade. And this is kind of interesting because you'll notice that the number is different depending on how much capital is in the account. I always reinvest the earnings, and that's why the tracking sheet shows sort of a compounded return versus just an aggregate, because the number of shares do change. So when this blue line goes in, which it is now, that means there's an active order going in. And you can watch that. It'll change to a yellow line and start showing you profit and loss. Once it turns yellow, that means the order's filled. And as the days progress, that yellow bar and that yellow line will stay in place to mark where my entry was. And that's how you can watch those trades happen live. And let's see what happens with this trade next. Well, it didn't take too long to figure out what happened on this trade. The following day, the market did gap down a little bit and continued to go down. So not a very good day. The following day, however, though, the market, although had a lot of range in its candle, ended up on a positive note. I mentioned how you can see my position is marked by this yellow bar. You can also see profit and loss. So right now we've got about $1,000 profit, and Adam is going to go ahead and take an exit. And you can watch that happen live. What you're going to see is the red line come in, which marks the sell, the order to sell the shares. And when that line clears, it means the order is filled. And you're also going to see a blue line marking my entry position to my exit position. It's blue if it's positive, it's red if it's negative. All right, that's the end of Trade 13. Let's head over to the tracking sheet and see how we're doing. Trade 13 closed on May 2nd. The S&P 500 was up to 505.03. Since our last check-in on the S&P, it's a gain of 1.12%, bringing the year-to-date total buy and hold strategy 6.25. We picked up a little gain on there, just a little bit more than the S&P. We picked up 1.16. That brings our year-to-date gain to 5.03. So we are still trailing the S&P 500 by just over, looks like 1.2% or so. Our metrics are up a little bit just because we got another win there. The win rate is now at 69%. It's pretty much within our margin, but our beat the market factor is still below 1. We definitely want to see that come up. We've got several months through, to get us through the end of the year, but we definitely want to see that, closer to 1.5. But that's the end of Trade 13. That's it for today. How do you think we're doing? Please comment below and let me know how this compares to other investments you've seen. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only and should not be taken or interpreted as advice. Until next time.